Hey, what's up, everybody? Happy New Year. It's officially 2023, and we're just a few short months away from the release of Scream 6. And I need to rant a little bit today about Stu Macher's return in Scream 6, and if that should happen. Before I do that, because a lot of you are probably not going to like what I'm going to have to say, but before I do that, tell me down in the comments, do you want Stu to return in Scream 6? And more importantly, what I'm talking about in this video is, should he return in Scream 6? Tell me down below your thoughts. Like I said, you're probably not going to like my thoughts, or at least a lot of you aren't, and that is okay. I'm about to rant in a second, but I just want to have this caveat. That is okay. If you disagree with me, if you think I'm way off base, that is okay. Tell me your thoughts in a coherent manner. Okay? This channel, I want to encourage, constructive disagreements as long as they're done in civil manners. What do I mean by that? Is essentially, we're not always going to agree on everything. But it's important not to start calling names, whether you're calling me names, which I can handle, by the way, it's all good, or anyone else names in the chat. Let's have a constructive conversation about it. I'm going to give you guys my thoughts in a second, but tell me your thoughts down below. It is okay to disagree, guys. It is absolutely okay to disagree. Nothing wrong with that. We're not going to agree on everything. At the end of the day, this is all for fun. Okay? Scream movies are fun to watch, no matter who's in them. Me being on YouTube, I have fun doing this. That's why I do it. Okay? And I enjoy interacting with you, even when you completely disagree with me. I respect your opinions. And I hope you guys respect mine. Okay? Here's my rant on if Stu should return for Scream 6.
I'll be right back!
No, you won't be back. You had a fucking TV dropped on your head. You're gonna be fucking dead. Not just any TV, guys. A 1996, 50, 75, 100-pound TV dropped on your fucking face. You're fucking dead. Okay? So no, you should not be back. If Stu returns for Scream 6, it's gonna lose me. Because that believability factor, okay? I don't buy for a second that someone could survive that. Now I know you can look at, the way things are filmed and certain angles and say, oh, maybe it just grazed his head. Maybe the corner hit it. Maybe people have survived worse, okay? And in some respects, that's true. But for me, this is a franchise that is grounded more in reality than any other horror franchise out there. And the second you take that away, you lose me. Not to mention, he was never mentioned as being alive again in any of the other 4 movies. It's another thing that loses me. All these suspects, whether it is in Scream 2, when Dewey and Randy are sitting in that coffee shop, I think, and talking about who the suspects are. They don't mention, oh, Stu's alive? I know, maybe he's in custody. That's fine. But he's not mentioned? Scream 3. All kinds of crazy shit going on. Voice changers. All kinds of things about Sydney's mom. He's not mentioned if he's alive. Scream 4. Scream 5. Same thing. No character mentioned him. I know in Scream 5 he's mentioned as the the uncle of what's-his-face, Kyle Gallagher or whatever. But still, no mention of it. That loses me. The believability that he could be alive and these murders are happening again and nobody mentions that he could be behind something or anything like that. You lose me when I'm watching those movies if he's alive. Not to mention the fact that there's rumors of people wanting him to be a mastermind. This guy's a fucking moron. He was a fucking moron. I love Matthew Lillard. I know a lot of you guys do too. You love Stu. He is a moron. Doesn't mean he's not a great character. He is. But he's a fucking moron. Mastermind? A mastermind. He's been planning all of this. That just loses me, guys. It loses me.
I'll be right back!
No, you fucking won't. You shouldn't. You absolutely should not be back. Now, maybe you want to see him back. That is okay, and I get that, guys. I get that. Because like I said, who doesn't love Matthew Lillard? Can't pronounce his name tonight. Who doesn't love him? He's great. Stu's a great character, like I said. I get wanting to have him back because it's cool, it's fun, right? But for me, it takes away some of the credibility and believability of this franchise, which is one of the reasons I like this franchise in different ways than I like some of these other franchises, of some of the posters and stuff behind me, like Halloween and Friday and Nightmare. Scream is different in a good way. That's why I'm a fan. But you bring back Stu, you lose me. Okay? Now, you bring him back for 7, you still lose me, but at least Sidney's in that movie. It would make more sense to have him come back in a movie that Sidney's in from a narrative perspective. But for me, guys, Stu is dead. Let's move on. Okay? We can pick apart any clues we want. Anything. And I got no issues with anyone that does that, because I do that shit too. Okay? So I'm not saying anything about anyone. But for me, and like I said, this is just for me, I don't buy it. I don't want to be watching Scream 2 or Scream 3 when, they're talking about suspects and not hearing Stu's mentioned. Even mentioned as being alive, I mean. And as I said, he is not a fucking mastermind. The guy couldn't piss without Billy holding his dick in the original Scream, and now he's doing all these elaborate plans from across the country, whether he's in prison or whether he's in hiding or whatever. He's planning all this shit, waiting for his time to strike 30 years later. I know it's 26 years later, or 27 years later, whatever. You get my point. He is not a mastermind. At all. At fucking all. But like I said, he is a popular character, and there's a lot of you that want to see him. And that is cool. I got no issues with that at all. As I said at the beginning of this movie, I love debating this. I love, disagreements as long as they're done in a civil way and people aren't being assholes to each other. I love the debate. This is all for fun. But for me, guys, it just wouldn't work. So, Stu?
I'll be right back!
No. No. Thanks, guys. Appreciate you listening to my rant. If you made it this far and you haven't hit that unsubscribe button, I appreciate you. I owe you guys one. Thanks for listening to me rant. Happy New Year, everybody. You guys are the best, whether you agree with me or not. Thank you.